Prodigy is a new horror movie out right now, and it stars Taylor Schilling as Sarah, this mother who gave birth to this child, and by the time he hits 8 years old, she starts to notice some strange things about her child. And she starts to investigate. She gets help from the outside, and they tell her that something is not right with Miles. Basically, if you've seen the movie Orphan, you've seen this movie. Seriously, it's the exact same thing. Few differences, but yeah, it's the same thing. However, I did think Taylor Schilling gave a solid performance. Nothing great, nothing bad, just, solid what the movie needed, And it's very well directed. I forget the name of the director of this movie, but he staged the scares and the horror very, very well. At least for the first 2/3 of the movie, I thought that was done very well. The way he crafts every scene, the way he sets up the most disturbing things. There are some things in this movie where I'm just like, ugh. A lot of it made me uneasy, and horror movies don't really do that. Horror movies don't really faze me, but this one, for a good majority of it, did. So I gotta give the director props to that. It's a well-directed movie, good-looking movie. It's got solid performances. The young kid is fine. He's on and off. He's not like Jake Lloyd bad, but, he really brings it in some scenes, and then there's other scenes where it's just like, you could try just a bit harder, man. You would have me convinced. I just think that the overall story and the way the narrative plays out just doesn't really make that much sense, and it didn't really resonate with me as being all that scary. Sure, this movie's disturbing as shit, but that's really all it's got going for it. A lot of this movie is just explanation. It's all exposition. It's telling you what you need to know. Horror movies have a hard time telling the audience rather than showing. Biggest element of storytelling is to show, not tell. This movie does a lot of telling instead of showing. There are some scenes where they do show us some things rather than tell us some things, and those were the scenes I appreciated the most. But when they're telling us stuff, all those scenes of exposition, I'm like, I could go for a little bit of more showing here, not just explaining the entire thing to me. And I also didn't believe the entity. I was like, it really didn't make sense to me. I was just sitting there in the theater when the big reveal came out. I was like, this has to connect to this somehow. And that all makes sense, but the overall thing, the overall entity, just doesn't. Because it's not really an entity, is it? I don't know. Is it a ghost? I don't know. Is it like soul possession? I have no idea. I'm not going to spoil it. You got to go watch the movie for yourself and figure it out for yourself. I don't even know if it's really an entity. So everything with that didn't really make that much sense. The explanation as to why it was this entity did. It's just the entity itself didn't really make sense. And the ending is definitely the worst part of the movie. It just kind of drags out, and stuff happens that I just didn't feel really resonated with me. I wanted something else, and it didn't happen, and it left me very disappointed. This is really a middle-of-the-road horror movie. It's a lot better than I expected, but I knew it wasn't going to be great. I went into this totally thinking this was going to be a huge stinker, but it wasn't. I thought it was well acted enough, well directed, well shot, and the jump scares and the horror aspects of it I thought were crafted very well. It's just the overall story. Some things don't make sense. The ending is terrible, and kid actor at times is very flat. For the most part of the movie, he is good, but there are other times where he just falls flat. And I just wanted him to bring it a little bit more. I really didn't find this entire entity, what they're fighting, all that believable. Which is going to bring me to my grade for the Prodigy, and that is a C. It's better than I thought it would be. Definitely better than I thought it would be. This is probably the most decent horror movie I've seen in a while. Thank you for watching my review of The Prodigy. Stay tuned for more reviews coming very soon. Check out some reviews at the end of this video, as well as at my website. I will leave that link in the description below. There you will find all my links to my social media accounts. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.